Hi guys, welcome to Autotrader, where we trawl Autotrader for the best deals and interesting cars. And today we're going to be having a look at coupés under £3,000. So it's that time of year. The days are getting longer. You want to get out and enjoy your car, but maybe it's a little bit cold and wet for a convertible just yet. So a coupé is a good kind of all-rounder. You can use it all year round, but it is something a little bit, better looking and maybe more fun to drive. So I've selected two doors because that kind of weeds out the three-door hatchbacks, which are sort of labelled as coupes, but they're not really true coupes. So have a look and see what we can get for £3,000. We're very lucky in the UK to be able to pick up these kind of cars for such cheap money. I'm sure lots of other countries, their cars are a lot more expensive, especially for these kind of enthusiast type cars. So really, we are quite lucky in the UK in that regard. So let's have a look what we've got. So first up, an Honda Legend. Not a car I know a lot about, not a car that you see very often, but it's a Honda, so they're very well built usually, and it's a 3.2, and it says no rust, so that could be a very cool car, I think. Next up, we've got something that's labelled as a 350Z, but if you know what a 350Z looks like, you'll know that it doesn't look like that. This is, as they put here, Skyline? Question mark, question mark. I think it's a Skyline coupe. Obviously, the Skyline is a very long-running model line in Nissan in Japan that started off, I think, with a saloon, and then they had coupes. Obviously, the ones that are more well-known around the world are the R32, R33, and R34 Skyline coupes, which were made famous by Gran Turismo games and also movies like The Fast and the Furious. But yeah, this is the sort of maybe less, not as desirable Skyline coupe, but you still get that 3.5 litre V6 that they put in 350Z. So, it's a pretty hefty engine with plenty of power. Jaguar XK8, beautiful looking car. Very much kind of a modern classic these days, but you get the 4.2 litre V8, so about 300 horsepower. So they're not slow at all. Volvo C30, yeah, maybe not as great as a weekend car, but could work as a sort of a daily. Mini coupe, I always think they look a bit odd with the chopped off roof, but again, could work well as a daily if you don't have kids and you don't sort of need much luggage space, because they are quite cheap to run, because it's basically just a normal 1.6 litre Mini or BMW engine. This is a cool looking car, the Peugeot RCZ. I believe that they did a concept car, and people liked it, and so they thought, oh well, let's just sort of make something that looks like that, and so they did. But even though it looks very cool with its double bubble roof and this amazing back end, it is actually front wheel drive. So it's basically, like a normal Peugeot sort of hatchback running gear underneath, but they put in sort of fairly strong engines. This one I think is diesel, but they did a quite powerful petrol engine as well. So yeah, they're probably not bad to drive. I've never driven one. 1 Series, rear wheel drive, so should be good to drive. Again, it's a diesel, and so is this one. So running costs not too bad, but you just have to watch out for problems with the timing chains and the turbos and that sort of thing. Another C30, another 1 Series. 3 Series. So this is an old shape 3 Series from a few generations ago, when the coupes were still called 3 Series, not like today when they call them 4 Series, and it's all got complicated. So beautiful looking cars, aren't they? And this one, because it's a 2.5 325, that is a straight 6 engine, so 2.5 litre straight six engine with I think about 190 horsepower. Not sure if this one is an auto or a manual, but you could get them in both, and they are lovely looking cars, aren't they? C-Class, it's a diesel, is more of a daily. Same with this one. Nice looking car though. This coupe, I always liked that shape. Cloth interior doesn't look as nice, but cloth interiors are actually kind of better in some ways in that they're more comfortable and you don't slide around them. This A5's got the wrong wheels on it, but the A5 is usually quite good looking. The Ciaz RCZ, CLK. You could either have that as a daily, it might be a bit on the thirsty side, but you do get that lovely pillarless windows because there's no B pillar there. Ooh, Mercedes-Benz CL. Wow, surprised you can get that for this budget. I mean, it is a 24-year-old car, I suppose, and probably has potentially very expensive issues that needs fixing, but wow, that is a heck of a car for the money. I mean, that was top of Mercedes range back in the day, or near the top of the range. It's a 5 litre V8. I think it has about 320 horsepower, so that's a pretty serious luxury cruiser. I suppose it's cheap because it's not really falling into that like fun car to drive, but it's also not falling into that like good daily. It's kind of neither. So maybe that's why it's so cheap. Mark 1 TT. They aren't as good to drive, I believe, as the Mark II, but they're still, a classic looking car. There's that Skyline again. Another RCZ. Let's keep going. Ooh, Renault Avantime. Wow. A rare car. And this one being a 3 litre V6 is even rarer. I wonder what sort of performance these things have. 210 horsepower. Okay. Let's have a look. 0-60 in 9.2 seconds. Okay, not that quick. But then when you consider that it looks kind of like the love child of a people carrier like an Espace and a Coupé, I suppose 9 seconds is not too bad, but I was hoping for maybe a little bit faster than that with the 3 litre V6, but still, very cool cars, very unusual. Again, pillarless coupe, so you can open those windows down and it, becomes like a kind of almost open top, well, not open side coupe. Very cool. More RCZs, an A5 with the V6 3.2 litre V6. Let's have a look at that. I think A5s are quite nice looking cars. I don't know if those are the original wheels, but they are quite nice looking wheels, aren't they? Let's have a look at their performance. 260 horsepower. That's more like it, isn't it? 0-60 in about 6 seconds. But does it cost a fortune to tax? Let's go on the running costs. No. 415 brake horse. 415 pounds, not brake horsepower. That would be nice if it was, wouldn't it? £415 a year. So, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not cheap though, is it? But at least you're getting some performance with it. And it's quattro, so it's four-wheel drive, so you can drive it all year round as well, even when it's icy and greasy on the roads. E-Class Coupe, another XK8, a Chrysler Crossfire. Get the 3.2 litre V6 in those, but I don't think they have that much power. I think it's about 230 horsepower, something like that. Maybe a bit more, maybe 240, 250, but quick enough. Another CLK, another old TT. Ooh, 6 Series. Now, I can't decide whether these are good looking or ugly. I think the front is a bit ugly, but the rear is a little bit better. Let me know what you think in the comments. Well, actually, I take it back. The rear is kind of ugly as well. I don't know. But they're definitely different. They don't look like anything else, do they? And you do get, again, they were top of BMW's range at the time. So you do get lots of good quality leather and features and stuff. But I've heard that they can be very expensive to fix. I think they get leaks into the electronics, and that can cause all sorts of havoc. And this one is quite high miles as well. Let's have a look at the running costs on these. Yeah, high tax bracket as well, £710 a year. And I would think you probably get about 250 horsepower. Let's have a look. Yeah. So for that kind of money, it's not like amazing performance. However, they did also do a V8, the 650. Let's see if any of those come up. The 650 was, I think it was a 4.8 litre V8, and that had about another 100 horsepower. Let's have a look and see if there's any. Smart 4.2. Don't know how that counts as a coupe. Laguna coupe, they're quite unusual things. Good looking car as well. I mean, I don't like the blacked out wheels, but that's a good looking thing. Maybe we have a little look at the stats for this one. Let's see. just under 150 horsepower, so not quick but not slow. Running costs 190. Yeah, so it's cheap to run. So you could actually have something like this as a sort of good looking daily, couldn't you? You don't see many of those on the roads. Right, let's keep looking and see if we find. Oh, here we go. See, this is what I was talking about. This is the 650 with the 4.8 litre V8. So it's got some serious grunt. Let's have a look. Yeah. It's got some scuffs and whatnot, but it's, again, a serious luxury machine. This one's apparently got the dynamic drive, which is the suspension, basic active suspension option on it. 0 to 60, 4.6 seconds. Yeah, so for that kind of money, you're not going to get sort of much more straight line performance than this, I think. Less than £3,000, you're getting 362 horsepower, 489 newton meters of torque, and you're going to get that V8 soundtrack and a heck of a lot of performance, at least in a straight line. Okay, it's not going to be amazing, down tight, twisty corners because it is a big, heavy car, but, could be a lot of fun. Right. I think we'll leave it there, guys, because I think I've shown that you have quite a few options under £3,000 for a coupe in the UK. So if you've liked and you've got any value out of this, please give us a like and subscribe for more videos coming very soon.